I'm Jess and I'm here with Dr. Shannon today from Thrive Wellness Center, which is located in Saline, Michigan. I'm here in the office to talk all about women's health, and today we are going to talk about women's brain health and how we can eat to fuel our brains. So that's what we're going to talk about first.
Awesome.
Dr. Shannon has some awesome snacks that they carry here in her office that will optimize our brain functioning so that we're not reaching for that afternoon cup of coffee.
Yes.
So show us what you have here and what you recommend.
Yeah. So one of the things that keeps our brains functioning well, especially when we have a lot of things to keep track of, is making sure we have good quality fat and protein and not too much sugar. So carbohydrates in general, but sugar in particular, will lift us up and drop us back down. Caffeine will do a similar thing. And then if you combine caffeine and sugar, forget it. That's the afternoon crash where you kind of hate everybody and you just want everyone to go away so you can take a nap. So we're going to try to avoid the nap situation. Yes. So one of our favorite things that we recommend for busy moms and kids too, these are kid friendly, are snacks that are meat snacks. So these are meat sticks. One is beef, one is chicken. We have them in spicy or regular. This one's a chicken stick. So these are low carbohydrate, low sugar, and they have just good quality protein. They taste good. They're also very portable. So these are in our diaper bag, they're in my purse, they're in my briefcase, they're in my glove box. I pretty much have one stashed everywhere you can think of. So if you're out and about and the kids are melting down in the middle of the Costco trip or wherever you are, you're at the bank, you're stuck in line, you're stuck in the car, these are great to have on hand because they don't go bad and you don't have to refrigerate them.
And what is that brand?
This one is Epic brand, and those are called mixed sticks. So they're very high quality protein, not a lot of additives, of course. They are salty, but that's kind of nice. So we have some bars from Thunderbird, similar to the Epic brand, and these are more nut-based. So this one actually has coffee in it, which is a nice little pick-me-up, but not a ton of caffeine. So dates, hazelnuts, almonds, that kind of thing. These little cereal packets are just, you mix them with hot water. So these would take the place of oatmeal, like a porridge kind of, but they're grain-free, they're sugar-free, they have different flavors. This is carrot cake and banana bread. They're really amazing. So this is flaxseed and coconut, walnuts, carrots, things like that. So these are great, again, for kids, and they're great for moms as well. So you can use them for breakfast, but a lot of times I'll have them for lunch or a midday snack because you can just add hot water. Especially in the winter months, coming into winter months, those are nice and warming. These are by far our favorite bars. They're from a company called Body Health, and we have lots of their products that we like, but these are definitely the biggest sellers. One's brownie, one's blondie, and they are basically keto bars, so they don't have any real sugar in them. They have an amazing flavor. They literally taste like a brownie, so it's a real treat. Again, if you have picky eaters, especially for kids, these would be something where they would definitely not know it was healthy for them, and you could substitute it for another like after-school sugary snack.
Ooh, yeah, great idea.
I know we're talking about moms, but if you're a mom, you have a kid.
Yes, for sure.
That means to eat a snack
like
after school.
I'm hungry, and that's just an easy, like, or on the ride home.
100%, yeah. So these would be great after-school snacks, exactly. This is our favorite chocolate company, local to Ann Arbor, and this is Mindo. So Mindo has lots of different products, but this particular product is 100% chocolate. So it doesn't have any sugar added. It's dark chocolate. It's organic. It's fabulous. So one square of that will satisfy your chocolate craving, no sugar, and really just kind of give you that little pick-me-up. So a tiny bit of caffeine, of course, because all chocolate has a tiny bit of caffeine. And one of the things I love about this is chocolate is one of the ways that we can improve our microcirculation to our brains. So chocolate goes on the list of superfoods that can help with circulation to the brain, which is one of the reasons why we have sometimes brain fog, but definitely when you look at Alzheimer's, stroke, things like that, chocolate's one of the things that can help the most. But of course, most chocolate comes with tons of sugar, and that's counterproductive. So that's why we like the Mindo so much. Yes, very lovely. It actually, to me, tastes like a fine wine almost. Like it has that sort of, like, all those different flavors melded in. Yeah, it's really, really good.
Sounds amazing.
And then this is not a snack per se, but it's something else that we use here in the office. And this is MCT oil, which is derived from coconut oil, but it's liquid. You can put it in smoothies. You can pour it. People pour it in their coffee to make like a bulletproof style coffee. And MCT oil is definitely great for brain health. So when we look at our brains, they're those big white squishy balls. That's fat.
Yeah.
So fat is very important for brain health, brain maintenance, getting rid of brain fog.
Okay.
So a lot of times just switching people to a higher quality fat in their diet, real butter, MCT oil, coconut oil, their brain fog will lift.
Wow.
So this is one of the major ways. So it's, you know, most of the time we're told for heart disease and stroke, we want to reduce fat, but that's not really true. We want to reduce poor quality fat and have plenty of good quality fat. And that'll actually keep our brains very healthy and our circulation very strong.
Got it.
Yeah. And our favorite coffee, we were talking about coffee.
Yes.
Because coffee technically increases circulation as well. So you see these studies all the time that are kind of conflicting. Like it'll say coffee's really good for your brain, and then it'll say coffee's really terrible for your health. And how are you supposed to know which is which? Yeah, so organic coffee, in not huge quantities because it's too stressful to your adrenals.
Okay.
But a good cup of high quality organic coffee is supportive for good circulation, similar to how chocolate would be. We use Organo brand coffee. So it is organic coffee. It actually comes, it's freeze dried. So it's actually powdered, so you can just add it to hot water.
Oh, nice.
So nice for an afternoon cup too if you felt like you needed it. And it comes with Ganoderma, or it's reishi mushroom. So the mushroom is another superfood, very important for brain health, hormone balance, stress reduction. And it takes the edge off of the caffeine. So we were talking about how if you have a morning cup of coffee, you know, yeah, you feel energetic, but maybe a little too energetic. You get the jitters.
Like,
yeah, I have people that cannot drink coffee that do great with a cup of the Organo coffee.
Okay.
So that's another thing that we love here in the office. No added sugar. It tastes very rich and like people love it. So that's another way to kind of get around that
I'm gonna try that.
situation. Yeah, I'll send some home.
Yeah, thank you.
You're
That
welcome.
sounds good. So, I know we talked about all of the good snacks. I love these mixed sticks.
They're my
I
favorite.
buy these all the time, and we love those at our house because, like you said, they're easy. Throw in the purse, throw in the diaper bag, keep in your car, and you always have them when the kids are hungry, or your husband's hungry, your spouse is hungry,
Or the
and
dog.
everyone's hungry.
Even the dog.
Yeah.
She gets it too.
Oh, those are good.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about depression, and then we'll just get into one more topic that I have found interesting lately. What can we do if we're just feeling down in the dumps? We're struggling with depression, and we walk in here to see Dr. Shannon. What are some ways that you can help us manage those big feelings? Because for some people, it's just kind of like ups and downs, you know, maybe like during that month.
Can be hormonal.
Yes, and sometimes it's like, boom, we always feel like that, and it's just the season. We just constantly are feeling those feelings of depression.
Sure. Yeah, we approach depression very much as a physical problem. So certainly there are things in our lives that are upsetting, overwhelming, can cause physical symptoms of depression, anxiety. So when you look at depression, a lot of times it's fatigue, right?
Yes.
And it translates into a depressed feeling, but if you were to support the body, support the thyroid, adrenals, heart, brain, whatever it is that needs help, a lot of times you feel happier, better energy, and the depression will lift. And we see that routinely around here.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Some of the main things that we might be working on with those organs would be supporting with B vitamins, really high quality. Like eating liver is a great way to get good quality B vitamins. That's actually the best source of them. So the supplements we use are made from beef liver as one of the main ingredients because that's one of the best sources. Nutritional yeast is another source if you're not so much into liver.
I was going to say, so you don't have to go home and have liver for dinner.
You don't have
can
to.
get it.
Yeah, it's encouraged if you like it, but you don't have to. And then minerals is another really important one. Most of us are mineral deficient. When you're under stress, you're using up your minerals, and then that makes you more mineral deficient, which makes you more stressed, which makes you more tired, which makes you more anxious. It's sort of a vicious cycle. So we use everything from magnesium supplements to like a multi-mineral type situation. Minchex is one of our favorite mineral supplements from Standard Process, and that has a little iodine. It has a lot of like a combination of different minerals, but people love it. You know, it's a happy pill, so to speak. And it really is just food, but those kinds of concentrated nutrients are often lacking in our diet, especially if you're tired and depressed, because you don't necessarily choose the best quality things to eat. So
Right. Yeah, I never thought about it like that. When you're tired, you do just feel run down and that's when all those feelings kind of creep up. Going back to, you know, to that sleep piece.
Definitely.
Awesome. So our last thing is, one of the things that I found interesting, I was telling Dr. Shannon that during a podcast that I was listening to, they had talked about that women are more apt to suffering from a stroke or Alzheimer's disease or dementia. And it got me thinking about what are ways, you know, in our 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s that we can optimize our health and focus on the things, on the areas to make sure that we kind of decrease our risk for those things, because it's more, those things are more prevalent in women than they are men.
Yep.
So I feel like that's a big, kind of a big topic to cover. But what are some things that we can do to help with that?
Yeah, it's some of the things that we already talked about. So really keeping your diet balanced as far as sugar is concerned.
Okay.
So Alzheimer's in certain circles is known as type 3 diabetes. So it's really a metabolic disorder.
Okay.
So we know that if you have high blood sugar or any kind of insulin resistance and everything that comes along with that, right? High cholesterol, thyroid imbalance, all those things will lead to a greater likelihood of Alzheimer's or dementia later in life.
Okay.
Same goes with stroke, same goes with heart attack. They're all kind of part of that same picture.
So interesting.
Yes. So eating some of the foods that we talked about that really optimize microcirculation. So no sugar chocolate would be a great thing to add in.
Okay.
Blueberries are good, very low in sugar,
Yeah.
but very high in the nutrients that are needed to keep circulation going. Turmeric goes on that list, so there's a lot of talk about using turmeric, curry, spices. Those are very helpful. Those are types of superfoods that can be incorporated.
Okay.
Things like dry brushing, right, to increase circulation, and activity, right, so staying active. I think as women, unfortunately, you know, a lot of the chemicals that damage our health are targeted towards our population. A lot of convenience foods are targeted towards us, and sort of diet, low-fat diet type foods. Historically, I think that's changing now, but I mean, 20 years ago when I was in college, like low-fat diet was still, that's how you lose weight, that's how you know, were to optimize your health if you were a woman, if you were going to Weight Watchers or something like that. We were, you know, fat was sort of demonized. And I think now we have, you know, maybe turned the corner on that, but now you have generations of women, like my mom or in that generation, that still think fat is bad. If they restrict that good quality fat for enough decades, their brain doesn't work as well. And that's a, you know, direct correlation between that. So I think, you know, looking at now from an actual health standpoint, looking at diet, looking at good quality fats, it doesn't have to be a keto type diet.
Sure.
You know, like some people do great on that, and it can be very beneficial for a lot of people. But just low carb, high fat, and high fat means probably more than most of us think we should be eating. But that's the type of thing that optimizes your circulation, keeps your inflammation low, keeps your brain working the best.
Great. Such good info.
Thanks.
Well, thanks so much, Dr. Shannon, for having me here in the office
My
today.
pleasure. Thank you.
We hope you all enjoyed this 3-part video series with Dr. Shannon and Thrive Wellness Center. Have a great day.